Hey everyone, just wanted to do a super quick little update video with a couple records that came in recently, and then also just wanted to talk about a new release, Alfredo II. So just going to show those first couple records super quick just so you can see, and then we'll talk about Alfredo. Alright guys, so the first one is Mac Miller's I Love Life, Thank You. This was one of his earlier mixtapes. I believe this came out in like 2012 or 2013, sometime around there. It honestly kind of ranks a little bit lower in his discography for me, although there are some really great songs on here. I think I'm just kind of a big Mac fan, which is why I picked this up. So had to have it. It's a decent record. It's nothing super crazy, and it's definitely not his best, but it is kind of a fun one to spin every now and then. So this one came in, it's on a clear pressing, so you can kind of see that right here, and it's got this really kind of like a nylon material plastic cover. So you know, I do kind of prefer the standard like paper ones, but it is what it is. Alright, and then this one, Don't Tap the Glass, Tyler the Creator. Kind of same thing with the weird like plastic nylon covering, and then you see Tyler on the front. This one's also clear pressing. You know what, I appreciate this album for what it is, but it's really not my favorite Tyler record. I bought this because I knew it was gonna sell out, and it's one of the test pressings, so it's kind of more of a collector thing than it is actually me spinning this. In fact, I haven't even opened it yet, and I probably won't, at least for a very long time. But yeah, this is it. For me, kind of ranks midway through his discography. Again, not a bad album, but I definitely prefer Chromacopia or Igor, Flower Boy, Call Me If You Get Lost. All those I think are better than this. But I do applaud his creativity and kind of liking to take a new spin on his production, things like that. And it's overall not a bad listen. It's still enjoyable. So there's that one. Alright, so let's talk about Alfredo, because the first one is probably one of my all-time favorite hip-hop albums. In fact, personally, it probably ranks in my top 10. And I do have the original vinyl pressing right here. I actually didn't find this album until probably 2022. I kind of missed out on a lot of music in the early 2020s. I just wasn't paying enough of attention to things. And so I actually bought the CD of this first because vinyl was all sold out. And then I got lucky and found someone who was selling their collection. So this is the first one. Again, one of my all-time favorites. Production's amazing from the Alchemist. You know, you're getting just 10 tracks that are super tight, and there's not really much to complain about. It's all super amazing, well produced, and then Freddie comes on and just rips it and kills like every verse that he's on. Same thing with the features. Genuinely, like some of the best features ever. We've got some Griselda stuff, a random Rick Ross verse that is crazy. Tyler comes in on this and just kills his part too. So overall, just fantastic record, and no gripes, no complaints. It's just straightforward to the punch. That's what makes it good, and it's dark and gritty as well. So a couple weeks ago we got Alfredo II, which is right here. Just came in a couple days ago, and haven't taken it out of the packaging quite yet. But this is an incredible record as well. Super great production. And I'll admit, off of the first listen, I wasn't completely sold, and I think that that's due in part to comparing it so much to the first. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, is how different these records are, but different doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can complement the other one, I would say, and you know, provide kind of an opposing or different sound, but still to the same quality. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of go through, talk about some of the tracks that really stuck out to me, as well as the vibe of the album and kind of what I'd rank it as. Overall, like I said, I really do enjoy this album. It's been fantastic to listen to, and you know, anything with Alchemist generally has great production. Anything with Freddie generally has amazing rapping. So, you know, put those two together, you're still going to get a great project, no matter how it compares to their previous works. I will say my big gripe from this record, it's not even a huge gripe, it's pretty small, but Larry June, personally, I don't think belongs on this track list. That guy was rapping in like 0.75 speed, and he just can't keep up with Freddie lyrically. I think that he's a good rapper, and I think that he's got some good projects and songs out there himself. I have a couple of them, but I just don't really think he fit in on this track list. It felt a bit out of place to see, you know, Freddie spit a great verse on a little bit more of a laid back track, and then Larry came in and did his laid back thing, but it was almost too much in my opinion. So that's my one big gripe with the album. Otherwise, it was amazing. Obviously, you know, probably going to name a lot of these songs, but some of the ones that stick out, 1995, obviously that's a direct nod to 1985, which was the first track off of Alfredo 1, and I think that it was a successful follow-up. I like that he was still able to incorporate those guitars in the sample, but still at the same time keep it very unique and individual to this album, rather than just straight copying off of the last one. So I was proud of that. Lemon Pepper Steppers is a banger. It's pretty straightforward, just great beat, great rapping. That's all you need. Enchilada was also really great. I am a big fan of bringing in Anderson .Paak on that, and he flowed super smooth on the hook. I'm pretty sure he was the one on the drums too. I don't know for sure, but that's what it sounded like, and he did a great job there. So big banger. Skinny Suge too. I thought that the production on this one was really unique. It sounds very different as a beat, and it kind of gave off a little bit more of an R&B vibe. Of course, Freddie's still rapping, but you know, great production and good on his part too. Feeling Great, that's the one with Larry June. That's probably a skip for me, just because of that verse, or maybe I listen to it until Freddie goes on, but yeah, not the biggest fan there. Gas Station Sushi, Shangri-La, Lavish Habits. Basically the last half of the track list felt super cohesive to me, and just from one banger to the next. So I think it varies a lot in a few ways. Obviously Alfredo 1 kind of had that more gangster vibe to it, and not that this one doesn't, but I think this one's more focused on, you know, the Japanese kind of vibe or sound. You know, the cover with the ramen totally works for the feel. You know, it's just kind of late night Freddie Gibbs, as opposed to in business Freddie Gibbs is the best way I would put it. So I was a huge fan of that. And again, you know, the first time listening to the track list, I didn't quite see why they chose to go with some of these songs. I do now, right? They weren't trying to make it such a direct sequel or the same album, and they were just kind of going for a different feel, and they did that really well. So I'd probably rate this like an 8.5 to a 9. It wasn't perfect for me like the first one was, but overall I'm glad we got it. It's equally as entertaining and interesting, I think. It's just those little fine-tuned details. Maybe the track list could have been a tiny bit shorter. Not a huge fan of the Larry June verse, but overall it's a fantastic project, and I'm more than happy with what we got. So definitely check out the vinyl. I think it's pretty sweet. I think the cover is really cool. I like that they kept the feel and look of the first album and just moved that over to the Japanese thing. It's a double LP. My only gripe with the vinyl is that it's just a single sleeve. It's not like a gatefold. So I feel like there's a lot of potential, especially because they put out that short film. There was probably tons of really cool graphics or pictures that they took in the meantime that they could have put as art on the inside of a gatefold. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's, you know, a great album, cool album cover, and so not much to complain about there. So anyway, let me know what you guys thought about Alfredo 2. Did you like it? Did you hate it? That kind of thing. And yeah, we'll go from there. But good to see you guys.